Happy Monday, everybody. Happy Monday. Anthony's going to come in. Obviously, I'm out in location traveling, so I hope my Wi-Fi hooks up. I got a backup plan if it doesn't. So just feel free to come on and tell me. I hope everybody had a great weekend. So we got a word for you today. The word is mistake. Mistake. Coach, can you hear me okay? Okay. So the word's mistake. If you look at the noun of that word, it's an action or judgment that is misguided or wrong. If you look at the verb, it's us being wrong about something, right? But I got to read you a couple of quotes this morning to kind of kick off mistake in your mind. Mistakes have the power to turn you into something better than you were before. And then the second quote is, a person who never made a mistake never tried anything new. Albert Einstein said that. So we all know, I think we would all admit, we got to make mistakes, learn from them, and move on, right? And I'll never forget a mistake in my life. I'll never forget it. And I've told before in the community, when I was a little kid, I stole a piece of bubble gum from a place called M&J Sporting Goods, and I got whipped by my dad. It wasn't pretty. I'll tell you this, I had to go in, I had to tell the owner of the store I stole that piece of Gatorade bubble gum, and I will never forget it. I will never forget that moment. And it's always stuck with me. It's a lifelong lesson for me. But I want to ask you something before I go ahead. I asked a few people before we started the recording. Kind of raise your hand if you just one of you. If you've had a mistake in your life that really comes to mind, that you learned something great from. Anybody? Anita? Anthony, let's unmute Anita. Just real quick, Anita, could you tell me? Got to unmute you. There you go. No, you muted yourself back.
No, am I okay?
You're good.
Can you hear me now?
I can.
Yeah, you got me? Okay, when I was in 5th grade, a girlfriend and I were staying at my home, and she got a phone call to go babysit, and so we left our meal on the table and ran to babysit. I didn't leave my parents a note. My parents got home and girls vanished. No note, no cell phones, no anything. I was so grounded for so long, and I had to write 1,000 times, "I will not leave home without permission." Oh yeah. From that moment on, guys, I never made the mistake of not letting my parents know where I was going to be, because, man, I was busted.
Anita, thanks for sharing that. 5th grade. And today, she still remembers it like it was yesterday. Mistakes are something that we got to look at in a way to where we're going to make them. It's part of living. So I got 2 ways to think about mistakes this morning before I turn it to Coach Myron. First way is making them yourself, okay? I want you to think, we're thinking about mistakes we've made in our life. We learn from our own mistakes. But I want to give you 5 things to do when you make a mistake. Number 1, it's okay to acknowledge your error, okay? When I stole that piece of bubble gum, it was an error. It was an error. Not like a great thing to do at the time, but it was an error in my judgment. You got to acknowledge your error. Number 2, you got to ask yourself tough questions. Why did I do it? Why did I do this? What goal was I trying to achieve by by creating this mistake in my life. Number 3, you got to make a plan. Once you acknowledge it and you realize why you did it, you got to make a plan for how what you're going to do with that knowledge you gained from that mistake you've made. A lot of times, number 4, we got to make it harder to mess up again. Like I'll tell you this, I love sweets, okay? Debbie Beard makes amazing cheesecake, and I would eat the whole cheesecake and make myself sick. So here's the thing, I love sweets. So what if that's a mistake in my health? Maybe remove the sweets from my house and make it harder for me to eat those things, right? Does that make sense? Sometimes maybe it's spending money. Maybe I'm trying to create better finances in my life, and I got to change my credit card PIN so that I think about it a little bit before I make that quick boom order on Amazon, so that it's just a little bit more of a harder for me to make that mess up, in my life. And then the 5th thing is once I realize that, I got to move forward with my newfound wisdom, okay? Because we're all going to make mistakes. We're going to learn from our mistakes, and we just got to move forward with the wisdom we gained from it. It's okay. That's one way I looked at it. And then the last way I looked at it is, man, there's so much wisdom out there if we will just spend our time like digging in. Use other people's examples of the mistakes they've made. They've already laid the pathway for us through reading books, through listening to people. Like if we will just listen and we're willing to read on a daily basis, we're going to gain so much knowledge from people that have made mistakes and they learn from those. And it could be something that if we read and really pay attention to, or listen and pay attention to, they've already guided us through that time. And that's, I guess, Coach, as I turn it to you, the biggest thing I've learned from successful people in my career is that they're devout readers and listeners. They realize there's so much wisdom gained from reading and listening to other people's mistakes that's been there and done it and learned from it. So, Coach, I'll turn it to you.
Okay, thank you. I bet your daddy tore that little tail up when you grabbed that Gatorade chewing gum. Big Mike put the hammer on you, I'm sure.
You muted, Coach.
Okay, I must have bumped it. Let me just start by saying it's a great day to have a great day. I know it's Monday, but it's just a great day all the way around. And talking about mistakes, we all make them. And the meaning that I ran across is just short and simple. It's a wrong judgment. It's a misunderstanding. It's part of human nature. We're going to make mistakes, period. And in my notes, I've got period in capital letters with exclamation points. We're going to make mistakes. We're all perfectly imperfect. So mistakes are inevitable. Once we acknowledge this, it becomes a lot easier to figure out what to do after making a mistake. So after making a mistake, what do? Mistakes don't come in one size. They come in any sizes, shapes, and forms. Some are small, but some are also huge to the point to where that mistakes will not only affect me, it affects others. And when I say others, I mean not only just people that we know, but also strangers. We realize we've made a mistake. When we realize this, we then have a choice. We can let it go or apologize and make corrections. It's always best for us to be accountable for our mistakes. By this, we'll learn not to repeat it. If we don't hold ourselves accountable for our actions, we're basically giving away all of our empowerment and setting ourselves up for negative opinions from others. Next time we make mistakes, let's just simply say to ourselves, I screwed up. What can I learn from that? I did that wrong. Now, what's the right way to do this? Finally, and if you don't hear anything else, I hope you hear this. When we do make mistakes, it's very important that we forgive ourselves. We are perfectly imperfect. Mistakes are going to always happen. Always remember, what we do after we make that mistake is what speaks volumes to everyone and also to ourselves. So let me just say this in my ending. Congratulations on being a human. So everybody have a wonderful, wonderful Monday. And you know what? If you trip up and make a mistake, it's okay. Learn by it and listen.
Love it, Coach. Thank you so much for the word. Guys, we're going to have a great week this week. Thanks for tuning in. Monday, let's find somebody, make them have a better day because we showed up, made a difference. See you.
Bye-bye, y'all. Love you.